Anyways, so we're back in Kaldvan, and you might be noticing some weird changes here. Like half the map is gone. Um, there's no island over here, and yeah, that's because last night we had an issue saving it when I was working on it. I just popped in just to see if I could somehow convince myself to actually work on Kaldvan, and well, needless to say, the answer was no. Um, this version of Kaldvan, I don't exactly know how old it is, um, but it's been around for a little bit. As you can see, well, the lack thereof, the things that are around up to including Nyhavana, um, a lot of the port. I mean, it hasn't quite loaded in yet, but like as you can see, the highway still goes down this way. Like there's nothing over here. A lot of, I mean, the train line still is in its old state. Like, what the fuck was I doing here? But point being, you can see a lot of the assets that we once had are now missing. The old buildings are kind of back. Um, the main Kaldvan file last night corrupted. I didn't know it went to bed. Said I'd deal with it in the morning because it was late and I wanted to get up early today. Um, the main file corrupted. I did a database repair as it was suggested on the train's help thing, whatever, just to kind of see like how do I save it, because I could not open, edit anything with that file. Couldn't even export it. And database repair removed the Kaldvan 1.0 file, and any backup I had just is useless. I've tried reinstalling the backups, and they are all useless. They won't install. So all the progress that I made on Kaldvan, Castine, in and around here, the harbor's gone. The old harbor is back, whatever the hell this is, over here in Kriegerhaven. The airport, which actually I was working on last night, I had predominantly finished most of the airport. At least in infrastructure, I got the national or the air base in, and over here I finished the taxiways, put a lot more grass in. But the airport was pretty much finished. That was what I worked on last night. Hey, RT, RTR fan. I'd really got a lot of what I wanted to work on finished. And then I was just kind of popping around with some other uh, items, and then yeah, everything crashed. A bit of a power blip over here, and that was all it took. So Kaldvan is gone. This is the most recent version, which dates back probably to 2021, I believe, when I combined the hand-built version of Kaldvan with the Icelandic dem. Um, so Kaldvan essentially is gone. It's reverted all the way back to many moons ago. Um, and I mean, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm super pissed. The only thing that really, the only thing I can really do from here is I can take this version of Trondheim and rebuild off of it. I could at least do something with it if I so wish to. A lot of the road markings, the layout, building placement, the roads are mostly the same, minus the roads that I added. Things will obviously be different. The only other thing I can do at this point is start over. I can go ahead and just go on to the Icelandic dem as it is, and basically build a new Kaldvan. Um, this has been, I started this project in August of 2020, so this month makes, I believe it's been 3 years now. It was either 20 or 21. I believe it was 2020 I started this. Um, yeah, I could probably go back and find out. Actually, out of curiosity, I just want to see real quick. So the earliest screenshots that I have of Kaldvan, um, date back to, sorry, I just have to look for me now because I want to know. I just want to know, just for the hell of it, like, how far back does Kaldvan actually kind of date? So believe the original hand-built version I was working on in 2019, although I don't know if it was actually called Kaldvan. It was the Alston and Castine Railroad, a little hand-built thing. But this version of Kaldvan, the earliest photos of Trondheim that I can find date back to the first photo that I see here of Kaldvan in its form is actually April 21st, 2021. But the town was already established. I know there's photos in here from 2020. Somewhere in here is photos of me starting to build the very loose forms of Kaldvan in 2020. Where are those? Oh, give me 1 second. My sister's calling. Alrighty, apologies. So, I called my sister earlier, and well, she was on her train ride back from Manhattan. So, but yeah, so we're just kind of here now. Really, the only option at this point is to take this blank dem file, which is 100% still serviceable. It's still workable. It's still good. Um, Basically, take this and just restart. Um, like I said, I could import parts of Trondheim into this. I personally don't want to, just because I don't believe it's really worth it in the long run to restart with the old work. I would really, like I said, I'm starting from the ground up. There is not a damn thing laid on this. There's no train tracks. There's nothing. There's absolutely zero. Um, so that's kind of where we're at. Is we are rebuilding Kaldvan, and yeah, so there are some changes I want to make. The secondary island I would like to reshape in how it looks. Um, the river that passes through Trondheim, I would actually like to make more connected to um, this kind of inlet, which I'm going to kind of keep the coastline a little more, well, close to, more or less. Big ship traffic can still pass through there, but I would like some smaller boats to be able to pass through, kind of along the river and follow. Or it's a river, but it's not. It'll be dubbed river, but it's a part of the ocean. So that's kind of that. I mean, hold on a sec. Sorry, the great approach medium is attempting to assist in maybe troubleshooting. So, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and restart, and um, I'm not gonna cry, but I'm definitely gonna be pissed off during this. Um, the only real thing, like I said, that can come from this is things can be done better. Um, you know, it was never, I could always have gone back in and absolutely just changed everything I had done. Like nothing was ever going to be 100%, but it was tough because I'd already laid down everything, and I didn't want to be reshaping the entire city. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to, just because I'm just annoyed. Like oh, there's a boat and it's wrecked. Oh, that's kind of nice. I might use that somewhere. Um, but like I'm super pissed. Like I am. Oh, that's a nice boat. I didn't even know I had these assets. And then this is how Kaldvan never gets re-completed, or not even completed, but rebuilt. Um, but like I said, so it's gonna come down to yeah, just kind of redoing shit over again, and that's gonna be the hard one. Is making everything new again and making everything kind of close to what it was, but I don't have any other options. Thank you. I mean, I have only, I've only thought about mailing a pipe bomb to N3V several times, but I haven't actually mailed the pipe bomb yet, so I think I'm handling this rather well, all things considered. Um, but so the first steps first is I want to relay the terrain for um, the island over here, the kind of the where the capital sits and stuff like that. I want to relay it. I want to relay that today, and I want to, like I said, the big goal is I want to make the kind of straight smaller, and so on and so forth. Like I said, I still want big ships to be able to travel through this. Essentially, I want the town layout like where the towns are going to be the same, um, but I want this island to be bigger. I want it to be a little more expansive, so that way Trondheim doesn't sit so damn close. Because I want there to be things. Um, Now, the first steps first is kind of getting the bridge back. I want to get this bridge back in here. I definitely want that bridge back because I liked that bridge. But let me see, where is that bridge? Now, the only other thing I can say is that there is maybe one more hope for maybe possibly seeing if the file can be saved. LTG asked if I had any. He asked me to send him the most recent backup. I sent it to him. Whether or not he can actually do something with it is yet to be foreseen. I kind of doubt it, but he is taking a look. Hey, Sam. He's taking a look and seeing if there's maybe anything that can be done with it, but on the off chance there isn't, I'm just gonna go ahead and restart, because as much as I'd like to sit there and say, yeah, there could be a chance, I'm not feeling very hopeful about it. So I would just rather get moving again and get something plopped back in, versus just waiting around and wasting my day off. Yeah, I mean, that's really all we can do at this point is just kind of hope and pray and wait, but it's like, I'm not expecting a miracle at this point, so I'm just not even going to bother. This bridge too low. Well, the boats can get under it. The boat does clear. I don't know how much I trust that, but that is serviceable. But we might revisit that in a second. Is there any other bridges that I can use for the A13? But yeah, so that it's I'm not waiting to see. I'm not hanging out and just biding my time. Like I said, I'm just gonna kind of push on and just say, okay, well, as Ethan told me earlier, dummy stick, you know, back up your shit, and that is, like the only thing I can say to anyone else who has any, any hand in route building is, yeah, don't do what I did. Back your shit up, because I would definitely not be in this situation if, well, I backed my shit up. That's a nice bridge. I like this bridge. That's a big-ass bridge that allegedly was sit in more water. Maybe this isn't the bridge I want. It's a nice bridge, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it sits in a larger strait. Kind of, sort of. I'd like Trondheim to have a similar look to what it was before, because I liked a lot of the buildings that I had previously placed in. But I am going to be making it look different in many different ways. Like, there are aspects of the original Kaldvan that, yeah, I liked. I liked a lot. There are aspects of the original Kaldvan that I also hated. And, that's... There's just things that, yeah, I would be absolutely doing differently. Oh. Thank you, Dave. I'd be doing differently. So, kind of just redoing it would be the most logical option for me. Um, and kind of looking at photos to kind of see, what was I doing, but also using the photos to kind of be like, okay, what was going on before, and can I do this any better? So, okay, so none of these bridges are really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't need one that big. That one's not terrible. I believe that's what we were using over on the other side. And honestly, I do like that bridge, so... Boats, yeah, they fit under that with ease, so I definitely think I'll keep this bridge. So yeah, so we'll use that. This will kind of be like a high cliff area, so this will meet the bridge on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and I could keep it. I really don't want to. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Don't show again, please. So we'll plop this in just as such. Now the nice thing is that going forward, and I was always nervous to do it with the old Kaldvan, but I guess now that we're operating on this one, it would be a little easier. I'm kind of curious to use turf effects, and like to see how that goes, and maybe that could be something beneficial to getting things done on here is using turf effects. I've never personally used it. I was again always nervous on the old Kaldvan, just because I didn't actually know how it worked. I didn't know how it would impact it. I didn't know if it would even. I was just very worried that it would corrupt things. And if I knew what I know now, I would have just gone ahead and done it. Just to be like, oh well, we did it. Um, but unfortunately for me, I assumed that I was okay and that Nev. I can't really blame the game, I guess, because I didn't back up my file. But on the same token, I also kind of thought that maybe the game would be half competent. And that maybe things would work a little better. Or they wouldn't be so broken. Or that, if a database repair occurred, it wouldn't just yoke my file out the door. Like I said, if there is any hope and chance that LTG can save the main file, then great. I would happily take it back because of all that, just the work itself. Um, but like I said, if it's gone forever, it's gone forever, and there ain't a damn thing I can really do about it. So I'm basically just kind of creating a rough draft of where I want the coastline, and that's kind of why I'm deleting the water tiles. Is I'm trying to see where exactly I want the the land to go. So this is just more or less my rough outline of the new kind of strait. So you can see the coastline kind of hugs a little closer now. Um, I'm probably going to extend it a little bit out towards here, and then it's going to kind of it's going to kind of parallel out that way. So I definitely want this area to be bigger, opposed to the other way around. Um, yeah, not exactly what I thought I was doing today. I thought I was finishing my airport. I guess the nice thing is I probably could go back and save that airport layout. Also, looking at the airport design last night, I think I kind of messed it up. I think that airport could have been done a little better. I don't know why I'm removing these tiles. I could just keep them and just work with them, but yeah, I'm just going to keep the water tiles on the backside here, because as long as I have the coastline actually drawn out, it doesn't matter. But like I said, I definitely want the new kind of capital island that we were building to be wider, so it's not so crammed. There'll be kind of more mountainous ranges through there, so to kind of break it up. And I think I'd like the rail yard to be closer to the city. I'd like the airport to be closer to the city. Um, the districts will probably stay relatively the same. I just have to get there and rebuild them. And like I said, sorry, I'm just I'm attempting to keep my cool. I'm really attempting to keep my cool and not blow up. So I was planning on doing a NASCAR stream today, and more going that way with things, and I probably still will, because I need to get that race done so I can start moving ahead with my fictitious career in NASCAR. But again, this is something that I hold very close and dear to my heart. Kaldvan has always been very important to me. Um, but yeah, so definitely wanted to get this figured out and plop back in if I could. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what we're doing today. So definitely gonna extend it a little bit over this way. So it's gonna be a few miles in width, because I think it's about what every 2.5 tiles is a mile that I roughly calculated. Alright, so I kind of want this also to curve down a little bit. Let me see, so... And then it can kind of start coming back out this way. So yeah, I can come over, come down just a touch. I might actually extend this down just one more before it breaks out into the Gulf of, or the Labrador Sea. I don't fucking know what I'm saying at this point. Brain don't do. Brain checked out. Brain gone. Brain said see you later. I'm out. I'm out. It had enough. The brain said no. So yeah, it's already looking a little bigger and stuff like that. Definitely want to extend this coastline a little more up and then kind of bring it back over. I kind of want to follow the same kind of parallel. Because you know how I was making Skogs Oya and Stein at the Booked, where it kind of had like that, um, this kind of this look over here, kind of like a shaved, I guess, yeah, kind of a shaved look, and so on and so forth. I kind of want that for this island over here. I kind of want it to share a similar look to how this terrain over here is shaped. There's also 3 tiles just randomly missing over here. Huh. That is now the pit of misery, dilly dilly. So yeah, so we're gonna kind of wrap this up a little more. probably come along. Alright, so yeah, so we'll kind of bring it in a little bit. Kind of want to bring it in on a peninsula, just a touch. And then kind of wrap it around again. It just sucks. Like I said, not at all what I thought I'd be doing today. Every day's a new adventure. Yeah, so we'll wrap that up. Kind of maybe extend the coastline to more of an east-west, and then it'll kind of poke up this way and come back around. So we'll extend this out a little further. Definitely adding some length to what is Orkinger County. Which sucks, because now I'm going to have to redo the map. Sometimes I lose my hard work, I just give up on it. Yeah, that's kind of where I was at for a minute. I'm like trying everything, and I was reading forum posts and definitely trying to get what I could, see if there was anything I could do to get Kaldvan back. And once I could not get the main file. Like once I lost the main file, because like I did a database repair, and then the main file just ceased its existence. Partly because I'm assuming the database repair recognized it as a broken file, and said, "Nah, we good. We had to delete you. You go away." And then it did. It went away, and then I'm like, "I'm sorry. Where's my main Kaldvan file?" And then I'm like, well, I know I have some other versions of Kaldvan, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, they can't be that old. And then I opened up I opened up the Kaldvan files, and I looked, and I'm like, one of them was when, I mean, I worked on this ages ago, but one had Eagle River on it, because I was stealing Eagle River and Kaldvanizing it. And another one, it was the hand built route. It was like the early Carabasset. It had like, I'll show you the file in a second. Um, but I looked at that and I'm like, okay, so I have this version of Kaldvan. Okay, that's old. Like it was early. Actually, let me show you it real quick. So I guess we'll save that extra quick. Like I kind of wanted to show you like what version of the route I was looking at. Let it save. Let it do its thing. Let's see. Alright, so the version that I'd opened up um, was just the Kaldvan file, because originally, I'm like, okay, Kaldvan, and then Kaldvan 1.0, so I'm like, oh, this must be a version that I backed up, right? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe I was smart, because I was trying to think, I'm like, did I ever back up a version of Kaldvan? I'm like, I thought I did. I guess it didn't, but, I could have swore I did. So once it loads here, and like I said, you'll Christ. Still just pisses me off, though. Like, man, I really worked hard on that. Let it load, let it load. It's a loading, give it a second. Come on, I loaded you earlier. Yeah, so it's this version of Kaldvan, which I don't believe I ever really shown. Um, but this is like early Carabasset, and of course you can see the airport over there. But this is what I was working on like ages ago. This is oh god, what's the name of this town? Forlusningsvik, which I don't even know what the hell that stood for. But yeah, this is like a super old version of like this. This was Lac Meganic in Kaldvan originally, and then I swapped it out to be this. Um, yeah, it a little scuffed. Yeah, you can see the airport over here. Like you can definitely see this version. I imported this and saved it. Um, I definitely redo the airport again, make a couple more prongs, and maybe make the terminal a little bigger. Um, Now Trondheim still sits in its same location. So here was the version of Trondheim that I was building. And the crappy thing is that this version and the merged version. So this is I took this, yoinked basically everything over here. Um, of course, deleted just about everything else down here, and then I think, yeah, there's Castine. So this was the original Castine, which was now brought up here to sit where the airport sits. This was Kriegershaven, but there was one little town that I never got to save, and I was quite pissed because I liked this little town. I think this is what, Alvenfjord? No, Vormstad. Yeah, so this is Vormstad, and I loved Vormstad. Like, this was a... Of course, the road looks like crap now, but I loved this little town. I was so in love with it when I built it. Um, you know, just in this little valley and stuff like that, and I don't even know what does this sit at. Maybe I could save this. I don't know. I would love to save this little area, but you know, you got the train line way up here, which was cool. You know, it was like, oh wow, you got the rail line up there, but my only real gripe is that it eventually had to cross over here, which I have this monstrosity, and then this led into the Eagle River. So this is the backside of the Eagle River. You can see it leads in, and there's Eagle River, but yeah, that was the original Kaldvan. And of course, I was like, "Oh, that is so old." And I looked at Kaldvan Merge, and all it was that version and the dem just spliced together. So there was nothing. It was like no more recent progress made between what I had done, what I had worked on, and you know, anything else. So I'm like, well, yeah. So it's gone entirely. There's nothing I can do. There's no going back, no saving it, no reverting, no turning back the clock, nothing. You know, and so I'm like, well, my options are give up and never complete it and let it be another lost project. Um, or I could go ahead and just entirely restart. And as much as I hate to have to do this all over again, nothing's requiring me to. I could absolutely just walk away. But I've come this far, you know, I've worked this long on it. It's just been something I do for the hell of it. I've put so much thought into it and so much effort. It's like, I would kind of hate to walk away. I would really, really hate to walk away from it all and just be like, yeah, no, I'm done. You know, I've had people get, you know, involved with it and throw their ideas and opinions and so on and so forth, and I don't know, I'd hate to see it go. So, restart we do. Sorry, I'm just trying to see where I'm going with this coastline. I look into the sky, but all I see is the earth I'm buried in. Sorry, I got a song going just because I need a little bit of something. I'll probably throw on some music here for you guys in a second. I'm just trying to get this damn terrain in. But I got a song by a band called Avatar. The dirt I'm buried in. But yeah, so I building up this coastline again, and like I said, you can kind of see the basic shape of this island. I mean, this is just a loose shape. I mean, it will take more of a shape here in a little bit, but like I said, I'm pissed. I'm miffed. I'm annoyed. I'm just I don't know. But I'll definitely, whenever I start making more progress, be making more backups and definitely trying to make sure that I preserve my work so that way nothing like this ever happens again. Because, yeah, you know, like I said, I didn't back it up, and if I had backed it up and maybe exported it a little sooner, because it's been on my mind, like, man, I really should back this up because I was playing with fire that many years and never exporting a CDP. Definitely playing with fire. Like, I'm shocked. I'm just shocked. Like, I could have swore I sent it to someone. Give me a second here. Nope. Nope. I checked the only other person I could think that maybe I sent a file to, and nope. So, alright, well, is what it is. We've answered that question. And I can keep looking as much as I want, but that ain't going to change a damn thing, so. Just trying to be very matter of fact with this, and, you know, try not to be so pissed off. Though, Joe, if you're watching this, I want my money back. Yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of at a slight loss of words right now, just because I'm still just kind of letting it sink in that that's all gone. So, but I suppose the world moves on, and you know, we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Said this brings new opportunities and new ways to do things, and yeah, so. But like I said, you know, I think this is going to present a new opportunity to kind of reshape Trondheim, because I could definitely sit down and put a little more thought into the infrastructure. Um, Maybe build a few less chaotic intersections. Um, you know, maybe put a little more thought into transportation, you know, the rail lines and stuff like that. I think where the old port sits, I definitely might convert that more into like a train area. Definitely kind of keep the trains down there with some light port isms. Um, I don't know. I'd have to see where the new Trondheim is sitting. I have to figure out terrain heights and stuff like that, because I'd like there to be a little more train variation. Um, you know, I'd like there to be more of a true downtown core, and everything else kind of be the outskirts. You know, the suburbs, the smaller communities, and if there are buildings, they're much older, and you know, and if there are tall buildings, they're not extremely tall. So that will be. I mean, it'll kind of be like. This is kind of what I'm thinking for the new shape. Maybe, Oh, hello, Tobes. Oh, he's a man. I have a cat. Where have you been hiding? you knew I was upset, so you left. Yes. And this will be more rounded and, you know, not so this shape. This is just the rough outline. So, oh, hello, sir. Oh, such a happy kitty. Oh, it's Toby. All right, so I'd like the river, or well, this ocean inlet. Hello, sir. Oh, to kind of come along and snake its way through here, and then I'd like Trondheim to sit kind of along here-ish. Oh no. Alright, so let me see. So we are sitting at height level 0. Hold on, trying to make sure that's not a tick on my cat. Hold on. What you got here, bud? Alright. That is not a tick. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that will come up here. Where's the bridge? The bridge is bridging. It bridges things. Can we like zoom in a little quicker? Buddy, you gotta stop digging so hard. You're gonna keep getting scabs. Alright, let's get some music on for you guys. Crap. Okay, so let me know if that's too much for y'all. So let's figure out this coastline real quick. So I definitely want... Well, hey, I want this to come down quite a bit. Yeah, I would like it about 24 meters at most. Of course, we'll raise that back up. Now, one thing I would like to do is kind of not make this such a trench. You know, take the existing coast, I guess, and not make it so damn steep. Kind of shallow it out a little bit. So I'm going to leave a little bit kind of closer to, and we'll expand that later. But as for right now, I just kind of want to get a rough draft in for the water and where this actual coastline is going to go. Oh, that is... Oh, that is blue. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. That water is just so blue. That sunset is horrible, but the water I think looks a little better. Hey, Size Knight, how we doing? So let me see here. So we'll go ahead and I'll leave it that blue for now. Kind of just trying to get this expanded out. I like the environmentals that I previously had, but I guess again we can just recreate them and kind of go from there. So kind of get this out of the way. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna kind of bring that around. Nope, Kaldvan is corrupted, and I'm having to restart all over again with all my progress on the route. So, Kaldvan isn't done, it's just being restarted, more or less. So, unfortunately, everything just got messed up, and yeah, so have to restart it, which I'm so thrilled and pumped about. As you can tell by my enthusiasm, I am not thrilled and or pumped about it. So, yeah, I'm pissed. But like I was explaining earlier, I really only have myself to be mad at, because if I had backed it up like I should have, we wouldn't be here right now. So yeah, so that's kind of that right now. So Kaldvan's not done; it's just being restarted, more or less. But, you know, I'm taking in stride. Just, annoyed, thoroughly. Very, very thoroughly annoyed. So... So the cliffs won't stay so high for so long. They will come down. Toby, what the hell are you doing? Yes, you're a cat. Hello. Now what I'd like to do is take a 6 meter and kind of raise this up some so it's not so low, because I want to be able to create the coastline now. So I'm going to kind of take this 6 meter height and bring it along the coastline and take it so I can start editing the terrain a little more. Which I'm just going to go ahead and cut across to here, and if I want to lower it back down to 0, I can. So we'll go ahead and do that. No, it stopped raining. Huh. Nice. Yeah, literally everything, including the terrain. Kaldvan's not prone, or it's not safe from storms. It definitely sits in the Labrador Sea. It sits in a precarious area for storms, but quite the storm to come through and even destroy an entire, well, land mass. But yeah, so we're redoing it, and I'm hoping to kind of lay the bases for Trondheim tonight before I do anything else, which kind of craving some sushi tonight. So I might get some sushi and then come back, and size night, you'll be happy to know. But tonight, I'm going to be racing at Nazareth, so there will be a NASCAR stream tonight. I'm hoping to get Nazareth done and push on, because I know I need to be doing my NR03 streams. Because we're getting oh so close to 2001, so I need to be getting up into there and making sure that I'm keeping that going, because I am having fun. Just been very, very burnt out, and this little conundrum and problem did not help any, because now instead of just productively sitting down for the afternoon and just playing on trains and building Kaldvan, I'm having to rebuild Kaldvan, which I'm not incredibly happy about. So, but like I said, it is what it is. It's, like I said, my own damn fault. I should have backed things up. I didn't. And because I didn't back things up, now I'm paying the price. And that's that. Now with the route being a little less huge and not so cumbersome, I can definitely have some people come in and maybe help build a few rail yards. Which sucks, I built that nice rail yard down in Navik. I built that really, really nice rail yard down in Navik that was servicing the Narvik Yardbane, I believe it was. So kind of annoyed about that, because I built one of my, probably the best rail yard I have ever built in my life. So a little annoyed about that. Plus, you know, we've done a lot of planning beyond 01. Yeah, let's say it's like, you know, we've done some planning beyond 01. I actually need to get there so I can start seeing where my NR03 career takes me. And, you know, will I make it in the bush? Will I flounder and come back to trucks? You know what's going to happen. But I need to actually do it to you know, see where I'm going to go. So we'll finish raising this terrain up a little more. But yeah, so we'll we'll push along. We'll get there. Just like I said, not exactly what I was planning for this evening, but you know, it's I guess the exciting world of trains and all that it has to offer. But this will, right here, be the bridge that comes across for the A13. This will, once again, be the A13. I think it's still 2 lanes like the original. Let me actually see that old bridge again real quick. Say this one had a median in it, which I like. I wouldn't have to do my own median. Let me see real quick. Because I like how small it is. I like this one is. It's not so ginormous. That's one thing I kind of liked at first about this bridge, but after a while I'm like, I'm all set. Let me go ahead and just delete it. Oh, okay. I just want to see this bridge real quick and, you know, could it fit in? No, it could not. So I guess we'll just put the other one back and let this one sail off into the sunset. I'm gonna put the water back in. So that will still be Gear Ranger. Hasvik will still be nearby. There, at least now I can bring those boats up and kind of see where my terrain, or where the boats kind of sit, and how they would look passing under this structure. So this is still the Nidsun. There were a lot of drivers who went to Kami Racing, a lot of drivers from New Hampshire by the name of the career ended. Yeah, a little bit of the Golden Gate. So let's see. Oh yeah, no, these clear by quite a bit. That's why I like this new bridge. Is it's not so tall. Or, I'm sorry, it's not so short, so we can actually get some boats underneath it. Quite. Which actually, I think we can fit a cruise ship underneath it. That's nice. So cruise ships can actually now enter the Nidsun, which is quite nice, because that's something we haven't had a chance to do with the old one. So, like I said, the changes can be good. The changes can absolutely be good. It's just not what I was expecting. Not at all what I was expecting today, so. But it is a nice bridge. I do like this bridge a lot. But this will carry the A13 across the Nidsun. This will be the new one, and yeah, that's kind of what this is going to be. So I like it. I like it a lot. There's Elizabeth at Portafiollet. So it'll just be a lot of, oh, I like that, the reflection in the water right there. That's cool. So I'm kind of wondering, because these are just concrete, just sitting out here in the water like they are. Well, this is concrete too. I'm kind of wondering if I should take the terrain out a little bit, or make like a dry sea, or like make a seawall around these, so the I might do that. I might put like a dry dock through here, or like, you know, a seawall to kind of surround the base of this bridge. Except for these, you know, portions and whatnot, because these are on land. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. And I think it comes actually pretty low on the other side. So there won't be such a huge kind of jump down. Yeah, it's nice and low over here, which I enjoy, so... But yeah, so this will be the new A13 bridge that comes across. And so, well, we're going to take this and slightly bring it down. I want to extend this out a little more. So I'm going to kind of come back here. And what I want to do is I want to take this and start bringing it down. What I might do is grab some train tracks. The A13 is going to kind of come along through here, and it's just going to make a bit of a slope downward. Maybe not the entire way, but at least start getting it to come down a slope that's a little crooked. There we go. That's a little more lined up, I suppose. So a little bit of over-planning at the moment, you know, maybe not exactly what I should be doing, but you know, this is where my brain's taking me, so and I'm trying to be a little kind to it right now, because I'm still very upset that, you know, still upset that everything got yoded. Yeah, so there's that. So we can now at least bring the A13 up to this point. This little bit of a, I guess a valley you could say it is, so... So that'll come down to here. We're going to try to just slope this a little more. So we're going to bring this up. We're going to kind of drag this down over to here. Just trying to at least keep this a little mountainous through here, or a little hilly, and so on and so forth, because these really aren't mountains in the grand scheme of things, but... Like I said, trying to add a little more variation to the terrain through here as we rebuild Kaldvan. Alright, so that'll be where the A13 starts to come through. I'm going to go ahead and level this back out. Yeah, it'll kind of cut through here as it works its way up on toward the bridge. we go. Bring that right back through here. Ta-da. There. Alright, so I guess now I kind of want to see where the river's going to go. So over here we have Hasvik. This is Geiranger. So those are the two little communities. I do want to get the 6-meter height for the coastline back up. At least, and to kind of build it a little bit. Keep this straight because I'm not exactly going to decide where it's going to go yet. At least if I have the basis to work upon it, I can go from there. So this really, like I said, it's not a river per se. It's more of just another inlet that cut between the island. It extended from coast to coast. So, or maybe it was a canal that's dug. I haven't quite thought it. Maybe it was a canal that they dug to connect to the sound and stuff like that, and to kind of help trade between north and south, or just, you know, just something. Maybe it was a canal they dug. Or a river that was widened, or I don't know. I'll wait and see what I'm feeling. If it's a canal, usually canals came pretty later, you know, or I don't know. I really don't know. It's not for huge ships, though. Like, large ships aren't going to sail up this. You know, smaller ferries and riverboats and so on and so forth will be sailing up and down that. There's a lot of barge traffic that would be in the area. Definitely having in this area, at least at a 6-meter height, would really change some stuff. So actually I want to fill a whole square with the 6-meter, so I can just go ahead and copy and paste, because that's the minimum height I want on this island, is at least 6-meter. Alright, and we'll go ahead and grab the selection tool. There. There. And we'll go ahead and plop that in. Like I said, this will at least help me get the height up to where I need it to be. Man, I finished the airport last night. That just kind of ticks me off still. Or I wasn't finished with it, but I was at least, like, just about done with, like, how I wanted it to be set up. Oh, well. I'm going to be a little salty about this one for a little while, so kind of bear with me on that. So, early apologies. You know, Meg said maybe LTG can save something. Kind of doubtful at this point, but considering I don't know, unless he knows something that I don't. But I'm almost positive that there's nothing that can be done. But so I kind of want the river to start over here-ish. So I'm definitely gonna bring that back. So I'm definitely gonna kind of bring these up some and start building that river out towards what inevitably will end up being Trondheim. So start figuring out dinner soon, because before I know it's going to be 8, then it's going to be 9, and things are just going to close around here. So on the off chance I decide I want to go out. Oh, what the hell did I do? Hi, Toby. Welcome back. Oh, hello. Alright, so let me see here. Keep the train kind of coming along. So definitely I want more of a working and livable riverfront here, or waterfront more or less. So not going to be dragging the A13 back along it. I think we kind of learned our lesson there, as well as the urban B6. I might try to avoid that again. Definitely want to plan the city out a little more infrastructure-wise, and definitely with the highways, to make just a little more sense than it previously did. So we'll kind of figure it out. Now the actual Trondheim itself, I'd like to have it up here-ish, so I'll go ahead and plop some of these down. And we'll kind of figure the river out in between. Oh, Jesus. Alright, ow, my back. Alright, so I need to see something. Let's see, ship. So that's a river boat, or barge. River barge, so it's kind of what will be making its way down through here, as well as these ferries. Not that one in particular, but definitely small tankers like that. Some sailing boats. Some tugs. That would definitely be towing some barges of some kind. Maybe not a Liberty ship. Some of these bulk carriers as well. You kind of get an idea of what you'll be seeing up and down this river. So there definitely needs to be some height with the bridges. Of course, being this is already sitting at 6 meters and such, so I need to bring this down to about... Let's see. Wouldn't mind this being about 9 meters deep. It has to be a navigable river, so there needs to be a little bit of width to it. Not so many twists and turns, just kind of a gentle, lazy river. So it'll kind of come up this way, it might make a bend here and a bend there, a couple of light bends through here, it'll kind of shit out that way, so... It'll kind of get up closer to Trondheim and kind of be coming in at an angle like this, a gentle corner for it to come back and then shoot out. So I'd like a little bit of the original design of Trondheim, but maybe not an exact copy for what I had. Now, just for reference, I'm going to put some water in here, just to see, you know, how low the actual boats will be sitting in the river, which, oh yeah, 9 feet will be more than enough. And just out of curiosity, because I know what kind of bridges I would like along this, and those are a lot of the FMA bridges, I want to see exactly what height I'm going to need to get these bridges over. That is not what I wanted. So this is going to be a little low. Unless one of these was a lift span. Which that could also very well be. Yeah, because this is the bridge I want to use. And that is definitely not going to work with these boats. Yeah, because that boat's going to run right into it. Even if I go up to its max height. Yeah. I mean, smaller ships could most certainly, but definitely boats like that would not be able to get up and down this river, so we'll have to figure out something. Yep, I saw his trailer. Dale Sr. is, unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable keeping him in, you know, and so on and so forth, so he will unfortunately be suffering the same fate. I need to figure that out. So there'll be lift or drawbridges and stuff like that. We'll create some draw spans, but let me see. It's just how I exactly go about doing a draw span is going to be the interesting part. I mean, like, you know, what we see here with the this, I mean, this could in theory qualify as the draw span, I suppose. I don't think that's exactly how that would work, but definitely having the arched bridge like this would, in theory, give the feel. So I'll have to figure out something, but in the meantime, we will continue to push on up the river. I think even that push barge would be too tall, technically. I mean, it might fit. Yeah, it would fit. It would just be damn close. Yeah, he would just barely fit, and of course this tanker would fit no problem. It would just be larger boats like that, so we'll have to figure it out. But in the meantime, let's push on with the river. Or well, this waterway, I suppose. I don't really want to connect those two. So definitely gonna be sticking more with what we're doing now in the series and such, but I'm keen with running CanMe until late in my career and stuff like that, or running it for a while. Like I don't see the need to try to tie the two, plus just sponsor conflictions and stuff like that. Like there are aspects of cars that I've painted in my NR 2003 fictional season that I would like to bring over from past versions, but it's like I already tried to run that career mode, and you know there were ties to it that go back even further and than just 03. So just to me, it's like it just wouldn't feel plausible to try to connect the two. So yeah, I just much prefer to kind of stick to what I'm doing now and running that career and seeing where it goes. Alright, so we need to come back with the 6 meter. Slowly but surely. So there is that. So you can kind of see the path over, or the canal, more or less, is passing through. A couple of just small islands that sit out in the middle of it, just kind of break up the monotony of just the passageway. Let's see here. Continue pushing this river outward. Curve it back to the right. There, now it's pushing into Trondheim, so go ahead and plop this in. We'll kind of look more at an angle. There, so this 6 meter height in terrain extends all the way out to the coastline from the south coast to the north coast. So we'll go ahead and throw that down here. My stomach is a grumbling, so once we get the river up to the north end, we'll probably go ahead and wrap this up, because I'm going to go eat and decompress for a moment, and yeah. Maybe talk to Logan and see if there is anything that can be done for the old Kaldvan. Like I said, kind of doubtful, but I guess it's worth a shot, I suppose. Alrighty, have a good night, size night. Sorry, I kind of zoned out in on the stream here, and once again neglected the chat. But you have a good night, and I will hopefully catch you possibly for the Nazareth stream. So I should be doing that tonight. If anything does happen, I will be sure to let y'all know. But as far as I'm aware, we're racing at Nazareth tonight. What a wreck fest that can normally be. There. So it gets a little wider up here, but you can see it kind of narrows up a little bit the further south we get. So it's not an exact carbon copy for what we had, but I kind of prefer this just a little more. So be able to kind of make Trondheim a little more unique and whatnot. So alrighty. Get rid of this real quick. And it's just funny how the narrower the river is down here, and the further we sail up, it just gets wider and wider. Of course, this is the north coast, so maybe I will shrink it up just a little bit, just to kind of keep it not so damn wide through here. This is actually pretty damn wide, so we're gonna narrow this up just a little bit, because this is a kind of aggressively wide. So, and just for the purposes of what we're building here, I just don't see the need for the river to be that wide. It's nice, but too wide. So something more along the lines of this will definitely do the job just fine. And there is basically well, it is going to be the Nadelva, the Neodelva. So, um, so let me see. I definitely need to ask Mal how he did some of his. Like, he built a custom. It doesn't actually work, but it's essentially a lift bridge, more or less. So I need to kind of see like what he did, or if anyone else has done other similar ways of doing things. But for right now, that's gonna be it. So it's something. It's certainly something. It's a start. Um, Whether it's a good start or not is yet to be foreseen, but it's something. It's it's sad. It's definitely sad. So, but for now, it'll do. So, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off and maybe not think about what's been going on and whatnot, and yeah. But anyways, we will, I guess, chat with you all on the next one, and I'll kind of continue to post